and welcome back to a beautiful woodland. Today I'm in my local woodland, and I firstly just want to say a slight apology for the delay in getting a video out this week. I had to take a couple of days off midweek due to ill health, but today I'm back. I'm in the woodland, as I've said. I'm going to be looking at the colour green today. It's a colour that's, I guess, in many ways been demonised in the photography world for many years. It's often seen as disinteresting, not really worth photographing, a bit boring. But my experience in the last couple of months has shown me that it's actually a really exciting colour to connect with. So I'm going to share my experience with you today and potentially inspire you to see this natural, beautiful colour in a new light.
My love for green began in late April, when new life was beginning to grow in the woodlands. The light combined with the fresh growth led me to creating one of my favourite images of the year so far. This began more adventures into lush green environments and many more images that I enjoyed creating. I've always been aware that green isn't all that loved in the photography world, but I hadn't thought too much about it until something happened last week.
I felt inspired to make this week's video after recording a podcast episode that will be released in a couple of weeks' time. And the guest I had on the podcast raised the question with me. He noticed recently that I'd been photographing a lot of green, and he said that once he was speaking to a photographer who said to him that nobody wants green on their walls, and he was posing a question back to me to ask, what do you think about that? Given you've been out a lot recently photographing green, do you think that green is a colour that people do not want on their walls? And I have to say, personally, that I completely disagree with this. I've been looking a lot this year into the psychology of colour, and green, of course, is one of the most abundant colours in nature, along with blues and browns. Green can give us a sense of harmony, a sense of peace, and most importantly, I feel, green is all about balance. When we're out in nature, particularly around green spaces, we naturally feel good, we feel better. It releases incredible feel-good hormones, and it's just this beautiful, abundant experience. And then when we think about photography, of course we understand that blues and similar colours to that can create drama, mood, atmosphere, calmness, tranquility. And that's why we love to photograph them, because they can create much more dramatic, enticing images, I guess particularly in the landscape photography world. But recently, with me moving house, I've been thinking about how I want to design the walls in my living room. And my colour theme is based around green, because I look out the window into a garden that's got trees and grass, and I want to bring that natural effect into my living room. And my plan is to print a couple of the images I've created this year using greenery in woodlands to create that effect. So I guess when it comes to photography, really it's about personal preference. But for me personally, I would love to have green on my walls, because it brings nature into my living room. It brings the peace, it brings the balance, it brings the harmony. So with that in mind, I'm going to connect more deeply with green today and really feel these emotions and see if I can create some more images that may work well in my living room. Autumn is not long around the corner, which of course is a really exciting time to get out and embrace the woodlands. But right now we're still in the summer, and I really feel it's a shame that many photographers don't want to get out and embrace this season, because there is so many opportunities. And just as I'm walking around just now filming lovely little pieces of video to insert into this video here, I'm seeing the beauty of things like this, the ferns, the greenery within it, how the light is coming through the woodlands right now, and almost reflecting on these leaves and the different tonal green that this is creating to the tones of green that's being created in the canopy. My question I kind of want to ask you guys is, why should we wait until this turns a fiery orangey colour to photograph it, when right now it has so much beauty in itself? If we can embrace the seasons in our photography and really embrace the colours that comes with those seasons, there's always opportunities. And I have to agree, sometimes when you look at a green landscape, it can look a little bit disinteresting, depending on how you've created your image. But often when you zoom in to things within the landscape and you create much more closer images of that subject, you really see the different tones and textures of greens, along with the patterns and shapes of whatever you're photographing. And it really does look incredible. And this, I think, is one of those examples. So I'm going to create an image of it now and share it with you. When it comes to photographing the colour green, I guess something else to think about here is your why for doing photography. Now, the vast majority of you watching this channel are not professional photographers, and in fact that's something I really struggle to call myself, because I don't do commissions. I don't feel like I do your traditional photography stuff. I feel like I use photography as a medium to inspire people to get out and connect with nature and improve their well-being as well. And recently I made a video about the incredible healing benefits of photography, and I want to say a huge thank you to everybody that wrote comments on that video, because there was some beautiful, humbling stories that were shared in the comments of that video about what photography does for you. I feel the vast majority of you watching this video right now do predominantly nature photography, and you do it because you love being in nature. And for many of you, it's helped you through some of your darkest times, and it gives you a way of connecting with the world around you, getting that headspace, going for a walk, being creative. And when we bring in the psychology of green that I shared with you earlier, if we can get to places that create that calming, balanced effect and give us that connection to the natural world, then green is a very healing colour to connect with, as is blue. Blue is an incredibly healing colour to connect with, but green is also, like I say, gives us that balance, that connection to nature. It helps us to ground. So next time you maybe hear somebody saying that green is boring and it's not fun to photograph, you may agree, and that's completely fine. You know, it's your own journey, your own interests, your own connection, and your own preferences. But if you think about why you do photography, and if you want to improve those well-being feelings, then I feel finding a reason to head outdoors at any time of the year and embrace all the colours that nature presents to us, particularly these beautiful natural colours, which are heightened so much when the light comes streaming through them like this, you feel really good. And that's something I've been really trying to do this week, as I've been recovering from whatever's going on. I've been trying to go for very gentle walks in nature. I've been walking and sitting barefoot in my garden. I've been connecting with the green colour to try and balance me, to try and neutralise me, and to give me a sense of peace and well-being. And in doing that, it can create all sorts of really positive things for your body. So yeah, if you're somebody that does photography to improve your mental well-being, to bring you a connection to nature, and as a release, I guess, in the natural world, embracing the colour green could be a really beneficial thing for you to do. I just felt really called to make this video today. I think maybe to remind us all that there's no right or wrong way to do photography, that every season, every colour is worth embracing and photographing, that there's beauty in every aspect of nature, and that photography isn't all about the end result, it's about the experience. And if we can immerse ourselves in environments that make us feel good, then that's a great part of it all, isn't it? And the colour green, as I said at the beginning, I feel it's been almost demonised in the photography world, particularly landscape photography world, for many, many years. And as I mentioned at the start, you can understand why the blues and the oranges and all those kind of colours can often create more dramatic, moody images that make you go, wow. But actually, looking at some of the images I've shared with you today, more of the close-up photographs, particularly of the leaves, there is so much beauty in them too. You stop and you look at the vibrancy, the colour, the veins in the leaves, and how the light is interacting with that green, and it still has that wow factor. I think everything in nature has the wow factor. If you can connect with it deeply enough and really see it for all of its beauty, you feel that wonder and that connection, and it's worth embracing. You know, I appreciate us in the Northern Hemisphere are getting towards the end of the summer now, but we still have a good few weeks left. So if you've been feeling a bit uninspired this summer, maybe going out and trying to connect with the leaves and the light and the colour green, it might just give you something to think about and to connect with. And for those in the Southern Hemisphere, you'll have all this to look forward to very shortly. As always, I want to say a huge thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon.